birthday today. Can you deliver him the best birthday present ever with a 4th major title?
We are going to do everything we can to make that happen.
Всем привет. Так, ладно. Так, сделаем так. Привет. Итак, приветствую вас всех на стриме по мажору. Сегодня будет твориться просто что-то невероятное. Европа против СНГ. Противостояние будет настолько серьезным, напряжение будет настолько мощным, что его можно будет резать ножом. До мажора остается 14 минут, до начала, собственно, игры. Пока что мы можем видеть сцену. Берлин 2019, все дела. Начинается представление. Мне кажется, это не нуждается в лишних комментариях. В данный момент мы можем лицезреть повторы. Собственно, проигрываются моменты, относящиеся непосредственно к Энерджи, к ASTRALIS. Я так понимаю, они показывают полуфиналистов. Один шаг до мажора. Трофей. Ну, речь будет идти непосредственно про кубок. Кстати, он довольно-таки интересно выполнен. Я бы такой на самом деле хотел. Он максимально интересный. Потому что он довольно фактурный. Приглашается команда AVANGAR. Собственно, вон они, наши ребятки. И тут махают руками, собственно, очевидно. Болеть будем за них. Также от себя хотелось бы уточнить, что реально интересная игра намечается. последний матч. Добро пожаловать на сцену. Приглашается команда ASTRALIS. Настоящее шоу. Фирменный жест. Но он уже стал. ФИНАЛ. Авангар против ASTRALIS.
They often say in life your first should be special. There's no doubt about it for AVANGAR. First time to the playoffs for 4 members of this team, and it's a grand final. So many players, so many human beings dedicate themselves to Counter-Strike Global Offensive professionally. And so few get the opportunity to walk out in the way AVANGAR are now. Versus the very best to ever touch it, no less. I mean, it is David versus Goliath. Well, we know how that story ends, and I'll see if AVANGAR have got any stones in their sling.
I don't believe in fairy tales, Alex. Unfortunately, right now, the Bible's a fairy tale, of course.
Hey. Oh dear. Don't put words in my mouth, Duncan. Pick it up.
Look,
this matchup right here, it's a mismatch. This is probably the biggest mismatch we've ever had in a major final, right? I can't think of one that is even comparable to this one right here. Now, the reason I say that is we came into this tournament, the challenger stage, AVANGAR are not the same team that they were back then. They've evolved, they've changed with the time off, they've prepped on maps they knew would get picked against them, and they made themselves better and better. But what they have is lightning in a bottle. They don't have longevity because they haven't been together for a very long time, especially since the Dren's joined. Sanji's come in this year. If they want to continue this form, that's fantastic. I love what I saw from them about a year ago when they first popped onto the scene. They were quirky, changes on the the normal defaults, the meta making it shifts in a different direction. But this is such a tough task for me to see a team like AVANGAR take down ASTRALIS, the best Counter-Strike team ever.
Defending champions ASTRALIS. I mean, you have to reiterate that they are looking to do this back to back to back.
Вообще, я считаю, что Джейм является вторым доси.
A massive accomplishment for ASTRALIS. And AVANGAR, they have to be the biggest underdogs in major history, in my opinion. The only one that comes to mind maybe is Fnatic beating NIP in the very first major, right? No one saw that coming. This is a major, though, that AVANGAR could win. They're riding such a ridiculous amount of momentum, and what I've seen from them as they have evolved throughout the tournament is remarkable. They've added so many things to their game and so many unique plays that I think there's certain ways they can catch ASTRALIS off guard here.
The problem is, you can theory craft all you like in the vacuum, in a server, with just the players and the nameplates off, but this is a major final. Like, look at the ASTRALIS players. They were laughing. They can't wait to get this final underway. Buster looked like he just realised where he actually is. And this isn't like a dream. He's not pinching himself. This is a real major final, mate. So I think one of the things that's gotten ASTRALIS to this point, I still don't even know if they're the best team, but I tell you what, when they played against Team Liquid and played against NRG, they were able to use experience to their advantage. They were literally able to sometimes just play what looked like passive play because it makes the other player. He's the guy who's trying to make the play and make things happen for the first time. And that's where you can punish
Честно
someone.
говоря,
So for me, you're not just playing against ASTRALIS, you're playing against the moment, and they are way more comfortable in that moment in comparison to you.
В принципе, опыт показывает, что ASTRALIS крайне мощная команда. Однако, я не знаю, как проявит себя AVANGAR, ибо они довольно-таки новы для перспективной площадки.
game, they were heavily on the CT side that they were having their performances. On the T side, the stats are actually very average for a pro player. So that is going to play a massive role here, because what we saw Jim do on the T side against Gratisfaction is what he must do in this game if AVANGAR's going to have a chance.
Let me say this about Jim. He actually holds the record for the least deaths per round in all of Counter-Strike history. It's 0.56. That's the exact rating he's had at this tournament. He's playing his same game, and surprisingly, he has the second highest entry rating in this entire event.
That is such a brutal recipe.
He is an absolute beast. Fourth, actually, all time in entry duel percentage. I mean, how is that even possible, actually, when you think about it?
With his style, that is amazing to contrast the two. That's also why people are really pushing it too far with the whole Jesus meme, because Jesus willingly died once. James still saving me. He's never going to let that happen.
He stands vigilant, and we will see more of them, hopefully, in the sub.
Maybe less Bible rated.
That's a bit biblical today.
That consistency that we've seen from Jamie, if you take a look at his event stats as well, you'll see it's just green all day. Doesn't matter, sure, some tier 2 events. Well, this is the grand final of a major, and the rating's the same. He has got an embodiment of consistency. And you can see Kickit saying, let's have some fun. And I want to focus on the mental state, actually, for a moment, because you started to talk about the edge clearly in Astralis' court here. Chad, why don't you start us off? Because every game of Counter-Strike you stepped into, I imagine you were painted as the underdog, certainly on the major circuit.
Yes, he's right.
This isn't an insult, this is context.
Yes, on the international circuit, I went in every single time as the underdog, right? And one of the things that you can do is catch people off guard, but this is different. This is a long, drawn-out tournament. They've shown a lot of the things they have. Sure, they can still prepare some stuff in the dark. Sure, they can have some quirks. They've done a fantastic job, like Sean was alluding to. The problem I start to see here is the grandeur of this moment. Can you see those 3 stars that I was talking about, Kickit, Jame, and Buster? Can you see all 3 of them showing up in the same fashion on a grand final stage in a major? I can't. And it's not that I don't think one day they'll be able to. I just think that right now, they've overperformed. And if anybody thinks that that's something, I shouldn't be saying, really think about this matchup for a second here. If you thought 2% of people in the world who played Pick'ems thought that AVANGAR would be in the grand final, 2%.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And 98% leaning, of course, in favor of Astralis. An impressive run from them so far. The lessons we've learned, we heard from Zonic, the coach beforehand, just talking about wanting to get back to where they were. They did take somewhat of an extended break, and I think that's something that, does need to be reminded that, Astralis, they were an unknown entity coming to Berlin. What lessons have you learned along the way, Duncan, for the Astralis development? I mean, you haven't said they're the best yet, but you do seem rather convinced that this is Astralis back to where they were.
They've leveled up a lot. Because the key thing was before,
Тем временем Плацдарм подготовлен.
He thought they were going to win Cologne and win the major, etc. Was they still showed flashes, like they would play against Team Liquid and they had him in trouble for a moment, but then Team Liquid got away with it. They played the NRG lineups and they were doing well. The key thing was they were always losing those big games. They were always on the wrong side, so yeah, it was like a moral victory. But eventually, if you want to be the best team, you have to actually win those games. That's the difference. Here, they have closed out. In the playoffs, they haven't lost a map yet. I think that streak is now up to something like, wasn't it 16?
I think it's 7 straight best of 3.
7 straight best of 3s in a row in major playoffs. So in that sense, they're back. Like, they've gotten back that massive advantage. When they get into bracket play, they're the guys who don't drop a map. They even win your map. And as a result, that's always a question you have to ask is, if you're the opponent, you know that, what is your map pick? Like, usually I would say this side, you want to go with something crazy. You want to try and throw a wrench in the works, as it were. You don't want to just go to comfort because they beat you on comfort.
Yeah, and we have, of course, the players on our screens. Chad, why don't you walk us through these boys?
Jame, of course, everybody knows him for being an amazing AWPer, but Kickit here, his mentality so far and the way that he's stayed poised in certain situations, he's been a huge factor so far for AVANGAR. Sanji, he's stepped up when he's needed to. Quiet achiever, but as this tournament's gone on, he's gotten better and better. Buster, not a name, Nestle was the Dren before Buster. I was a little bit wrong there, but Dren, the veteran. Major MVP previously, the only member of this team to be in a major final event. Buster, there's the man on your screen.
Бустер 1.18.
Очень неплохой. Describe Buster as the best player he's played with. He's better than
Вся команда
he's better than he is.
Okay,
so he just straight admitted it. He's an insane mechanical player.
And those mechanics have got them so far. Every time you watch in a AVANGAR the post-match highlights, every name shows up with some form of multi-kill hero round. It has been consistently available that all of the players from AVANGAR have stepped up against the world's best.
And that's where they thrive, right? Those 3 kills, 2 kill rounds in the chaos, in the smokes, half blind. They're so good in those chaotic situations. They seem to remain calm, and everything is moving at a slow pace when you watch them. Their T-sides are very slow and thought out. It doesn't give the players much, much to worry about because they're moving so slow throughout the map, and they thrive.
Многие другие важные турниры и она в финале мажора. Итак, смотрим статистику Астралис. Инферно 83 самое большое, Даст 2 40 самое маленькое. При этом хочется отметить, что Даст 2 это одна из любимых карт, собственно, Авангара, поэтому я считаю, что они пикнут ее. Наблюдаем статистику девайса 1.21. Это очень хороший результат. 0.95 лайв.
What a monster Glaive is. Then you've got Dupree, he changed his hair, changed his game a little bit.
Dupree,
The stats haven't been so crazy for this one, but he's an entry player. We all know they do the hard work. And then there he is, the Counter-Strike computer. He's just typing in the code there. He defuses all the bombs. He outwits all the guys. He's the one that all the ladies want to be with. And finally, we've got Magisk. He's got a nice round head. He's got an all-around game as well. And it's beautiful.
I'm telling you now, that was a spanner. I just threw a complete curveball your way, and you are running with it. But yes, we do see Astralis. Magisk Boy, of course, was somewhat of the catalyst into starting their run, but so long now a staple of that roster. And actually, a staple of their roster did something I've never seen before yesterday. Device with his filthy start to the NRG game. There is power in the ranks of Astralis.
Can we please have a graffiti on that wall?
На самом деле, действительно, было бы интересно узнать ваше мнение насчет того, кто победит в этой игре. Ибо действительно это крайне необычный результат для финала мажора. Получить никому доселе неизвестно
We sat at the analyst desk and Sean says, yeah, you know, I think the turning point of that game was Device's clutch. That was round one.
Ну что ж, посмотрим, кто сильнее все-таки. Наши казахи, в общем, команда из СНГ, либо же команда из Дании. Также можно предположить, кто в этом раунде, в первом раунде,
And actually, I took a look at Petter's tweet. He's just got all the numbers on his screen from HLTV, and he told me that.
Лично я считаю, что
Astralis,
ибо у АВГ в принципе не идут.
We could see James taking that MVP title, and I mean, he certainly has put in a
Пистолетки как таковые.
That's unreasonable. I mean, he is so integral to how they play. He seems to actually have a lot of impact in deciding what they do in the games. And for all the criticism, he has not let them down in any phase of this tournament so far. You're supposed to have a bad game every now and then when you haven't been at the top.
But what interests me about James is he was taking battles against the other team's opera a lot in the matches that we watched him play, and he was very, very successful in those duels. I don't think Device offers those duels up as much as some of the other offers. He's very passive. He takes his, his shots against riflers who don't really have a chance to fight back.
When you're watching him on his A game, it does just feel like it looks so easy. People just walk in. He's holding the line, and it's the right line, and he's safe, and someone dies. That seems to be the Device way of doing things. And the way you guys tend to do things is talking about the veto. Now, for those newer to Counter-Strike, 7 maps in the pool. Newest addition is Vertigo, which Astralis threw somewhat of a spanner in the works of their opponent's Team Liquid.
This one may as well be 5, right? We may as well not even talk about the 7 here because we're not going to be seeing any nuke. That one's not going to come on out, and I assume Astralis will probably just get rid of Mirage like they have been doing for the rest of the tournament. So now it leans towards the picks, and this is where it's up in the air because since Astralis have shown a very strong form on Overpass, I thought maybe after we saw AVANGAR beat Liquid on it, it could be a map to crop up. But now Astralis are looking really hot on that map. It might air them away to something like a Dust 2.
Out of the 5 remaining maps, both teams have won on their runs on all of them besides AVANGAR winning on Train.
I haven't seen it.
That was the only map they lost to, and that was Energy on Train.
Which I have to say, listen, it's one of the maps they traditionally liked. After seeing how Astralis has played it, people have been able to be competitive with them on Train.
Подошло время
when they've been over on both sides, depending on what the game is. So if you want a surprise pick that they don't expect, I don't mind that as the pick for AVANGAR.
I would think AVANGAR is going to go towards Dust 2, right? We've seen Astralis, do some weakness, I guess. They've shown a little bit of weakness on that. And there's the Mirage band coming out of Astralis. and I'm sure we're going to see that.
If ASTRALIS really want to punish the Vanguard guys, though, you just say, here's AVANGAR, enjoy, let's play.
Oh, but imagine that. Imagine the story that could unfold there if AVANGAR have done their homework.
We've seen them play against Renegades, and they were quite good. They won that game.
Идет выбор.
Yeah, look, I'm going to take that game with a grain of salt in the sense of the way they got across the line was, I think, a lot of Renegades' mistakes, and it looked to me like the old meta was coming out. Now, just to note with Inferno, this is a map that AVANGAR have been happy to pick. They're more than happy to play. So that first one, I think the smile on the face will kick it.
Теперь же AVANGAR выбирает. И они выбрали
I think ASTRALIS is the best team in the world on Inferno, and I think they have
Посмотрим, что будет. Я считаю, что на Dust 2 у АВГ будет гораздо больше шансов, чем у ASTRALIS.
I think personally, if you're going to pick Inferno, it implies you were going to comfort yourself.
Был произведен бан АВГ. Это Vertigo.
No complaints that get allowed to veto Vertigo. Bye-bye Train. It was the Danes to choose. And so are three. It starts Inferno, Dust 2, and Overpass.
Fun fact about ASTRALIS, they picked 3 different maps so far in this Champions Stage.
That is a spicy one. On the stage, every pick is different.
Итак, смотрим статистику АВГ и ASTRALIS, соответственно.
Take a look at the stats as well. You were saying, Chad, this is not a strange territory for ASTRALIS.
No, but some of the victories, right? If you look at that G2 one, G2 was pathetic at holding the B bomb site. All that happened was AVANGAR got banana control. Maybe they had 3 players left alive, and they were still able to execute like 3-on-4, 3-on-5, and then have a lot of success on that bomb site. The Vitality one is a lot more telling, right? Because we saw the Vitality form, and it wasn't even great, right? It was ZywOo showed up for that map, and only that map, really. So this here is one where I know that ASTRALIS can punish them with the utility. They can get the early picks. They're very, innovative in the way that they move around this map. And they were the ones who first showed us how powerful the utility can be in Banana.
This is the only map that didn't betray ASTRALIS, even when they went into the down period and wasn't so good. So this is a real good chance to start this final 1-0.
Look, I'm going to say this. ASTRALIS is probably going to start on their T side, right? Glaive is always the one fighting for banana control. But what you really should look out for is AVANGAR's bomb site stacks. Their CT sides are very, very difficult to read. Randomly, they'll have 4 people at the B bomb site or 4 people at the A bomb site.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And people talk about the major and they talk about the prestige. Stunner's done a fantastic job of setting the scene there. But I think there is no better, let's think, counsel to talk about Counter-Strike, its impact, and what the major means than the players themselves. So sit back, relax, and let's reflect on what Counter-Strike means to the human beings that have dedicated their lives to it.
That's the tournament, that's the king of all tournaments, that's the crown.
Итак,
it's just the biggest event, everyone knows it and everyone wants to get in there.
The best achievement you can get in Counter-Strike.
I think everyone on the team is playing for the title.
Winning that is the best thing that you can win. So it's not about the money, it's not about the rankings when it comes to the major. It's only about winning it.
You have no excuses for not going far at the major. Everyone really wants to win this tournament.
I think everyone's being like, hey, we want to be major champions.
Очень горд представлять Казахстан на международной арене, потому что вся страна смотрит на эту индустрию новыми глазами.
Титул чемпионов мейджора значит гораздо больше, чем те деньги, которые ты можешь выиграть.
The money's not all it is, and I think it's just it's all the best teams in the world come together.
Players are labeled with majors. It is the most prestigious one you can get.
The reason why we play a major is to write history.
Winner of the major 2019.
В данный момент пишется история мажора.
It is a good thing, and you're going to be remembered now during the books.
Everyone remembers.
В дальнейшем,
winning a major would be like the most special moment for my career, I think, personally, and everyone's number one goal.
A few people that can actually do it, and getting that title is the biggest thing that you can achieve in CSGO for now.
Собственно, идет речь о том, что получение титула чемпиона мажора это максимальная награда, которую ты можешь получить, играя в CSGO.
To the champion of the Berlin Major 2019, I just want to say huge congratulations. I know you've put in a great amount of work, all the teams you have, and you're obviously feeling amazing right now, being up there, being the champ, so credit to you.
Высказываются
Я хочу сказать будущему
благодарности всем тем, кто
ты
играл.
проделал огромную работу, чтобы сделать это, и ты просто самый лучший. Наслаждайся этим моментом, потому что эти моменты, они бесценны.
Воистину.
Whoever wins this major
Кто бы не выиграл в мажоре, он останется в истории.
And so memory. It's a recurring trend in humanity. It's something we value, and it is about making those memories on the stage today to be remembered. And of course, putting a fourth star next to the ASTRALIS logo is certainly one way to do it for a Vanguard, the first, and a first out of left field completely. Either way this goes, memory is certainly going to be written on that stage and in this arena, Mercedes-Benz Arena. Of course, if you have just joined us, welcome. You're just in time for this party to start. We concluded the veto, and your observations did leave us on the edge of our seats. But Chad, that video, just talking a little bit about the fact that the major is more than the money, I think that's something that we've always thought, not often said.
It's really important because this, as you heard Trace at the start of the show say, is a celebration of Counter-Strike, right? We all look at this, we want it to be our World Cup, but look at all the people here, everybody's turned on out to watch Counter-Strike. This is bringing people together. We had a chance today to do a signing session with all the fans. They'll have smiles on their faces. They're all here for the love of the game. That's the same reason we're here. That's the same reason the players here. That's the same reason people are sitting in a server for 12 hours a day. They go to school. That's what they obsess about. That's all they think about is this game. And it's changed people's lives. And it's brought people together. And I think we're all better for this.
I couldn't agree anymore. And you know what? Speaking of the fans, why don't we hear just a couple more from them? Over to James Banks and Tonya in the crowd.
Многих людей, особенно шкалатронов, которые ходят в шкалку и там
We all waited for this moment for such a long time. And I have only one question for you guys. Who is going to be the next major champion? Oh my God! AVANGAR! James, what do you think about that?
It's going to be pretty hard for you guys to manage to challenge against the legendary and the historic ASTRALIS. And these guys have been here all weekend. They've had an amazing time and they've been cheering non-stop. It is almost like
Как видим, здесь есть люди всех возрастов.
This is the CSGO Major. This is the final. Guys, are we ready for the final?
Ребят, мы готовы к финалу.
I have one dedicated fan up here. I know that you have something to say to all the arena.
Фанаты AVANGAR.
It is not James time. It is not Adrian time. It's AVANGAR time. Let's go!
Не время ASTRALISа, не время других команд. Время AVANGAR.
Oh, there's certainly some passion in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. There's no doubt about it, and no exception here on the analyst desk. We've got the vetoes. I know that gets you, that whets your appetite. Sean, starting with you, seeing Inferno as our first, your eyebrows raised that AVANGAR can compete. What are your expectations?
Yeah, these are all maps AVANGAR can play, right? They've picked these maps throughout the entire event, all three of them. So by no means are they out of this series, right? They just need to find a way to get into the same scenarios. Those 3-on-3s, those 2-on-2s that I keep talking about. We've seen them thrive in those scenarios because of James' picks, because of Buster's aggressions. But I don't know how they're going to find openings on their T side. That's what I'm worried about. I'm confident they can do enough on their CT side. Yeah. It's their T sides that worry me.
I have a quick something I want to say, actually. Drop in. People are going to think, right, when Chad said, for example, they're not going to win, there's no chance it's 2-0. People are going to think, like, come on, why don't you set it up? Why don't you make it seem it's even? Because the whole point is, if AVANGAR do win this final, I want people to know they had no chance. These are the maps that ASTRALIS is going to beat them on. They're not supposed to be here. They weren't supposed to win any of the matches. It will be the most epic upset of all time. So let's set the stage for that. And in this match, kind of what Sean said there, the guy who can win his equivalent position is Kicker, because the Pre's numbers you saw, they were pretty pedestrian actually. He had some good games in the playoffs, he played well against Team Liquid, but if he underperforms here, you've seen his device on the CT side has been what's been carrying ASTRALIS. A big game from this guy on your screen right now, who could have been a Na'Vi and said, no thanks, I'm going with AVANGAR to the final. That can get you a map, and then that can get you in the series.
Seeing Buster on Inferno earlier in this tournament as well, there are very few players who look so tenacious to take banana control without very little support. He often is given that task on the T side alone and is brave as hell, especially when the partnership of Kickit shows up at a walk.
Good luck when you're facing get Zipix and Blade. They're going to be throwing a barrage of nades at you if you enter banana any time within the first 20 seconds of the round.
ASTRALIS Inferno, often, it's described by analysts and not often explained why we say ASTRALIS changed the meta, but specifically Inferno is one that we've seen a complete revolution.
It's because their utility usage was so good. People were very lackadaisical about how they would take territory and maps, and then once you have ASTRALIS, they step on out and say, hey, well, we know that you're going to go here if we throw a Molotov, then you get double naded, then we're going to push you back with a smoke. You're isolated isolated from your team, a flash comes out, they push, you've just lost a member. You haven't even had a chance to get into the round. What they've done on their CT sides is make this map so difficult for anyone to be aggressive in the early stages, and they force you where they want you to go. They'll pepper you in banana, you start going towards A. Well, guess what? They're playing 2 members quad side, you get shut down there, you want to rotate to arch side, the rotation's already coming. ASTRALIS used to have this map completely covered. Now look, grand final, different situation. You know, I don't want to go out there and say any given Sunday, because in my mind, this is ASTRALIS, like I said, one hand on the trophy, and it should be a very swift 2-0 if it's the same team we saw yesterday and the day before. But these guys, they have lightning in a bottle. I don't know what it is this tournament so far for AVANGAR, but they've definitely caught it. Whatever's going right for them, whatever game plan they've been doing, if they do the same thing today, it can be competitive, it can be entertaining, we can give everybody a good show. But whether they can grab that trophy, it seems so unlikely.
I think the craziest statistic was during ASTRALIS' at one point they did. Oh, actually, hang on, with still take a look at those odds. ASTRALIS clear favorite.
Чувак, а ты нормально, что у тебя видос в 2 раза громче тебя
casting your fan vote on the Strafe app, and a bit more love.
Тебя не слышно.
AVANGAR camp there, a little bit of a 38% split. So that's on Strafe. You can install it on iOS and Google Play to see all your stats and brackets and all of that good stuff. The stuff
Блин, я
in
опять
your faces. You can do so at your own leisure. It's time for Team Talk. Sonic on the mic for ASTRALIS. He'll be talking them through their game plan, and there's often a game plan coming into games like this. The little bit of the expectation for the first opening 4 or 5 rounds.
Итак, все ожидают начала. Настроены серьезно команды друг против друга. На самом деле уже надоело ждать действительно, когда же начнется решающая битва, когда начнется действие. Лично мне хотелось бы увидеть, собственно, как Джейм будет отыгрывать эту игру, ибо реально его моменты красивые, его моменты безумно красивые. Возможно, это действительно будет победа AVANGAR. Я в это не до конца верю.
Я за Авангар.
Болеть за нашу команду, за команду СНГ.
Там Казахстан русский. Казахстан, Джейм русский.
That's why I think this would be the biggest upset in Major history, right? Not the FaZe Cloud9, because the FaZe guys, I mean, Kerrigan and Nico hadn't been there before. They had the nerves of the Major final. ASTRALIS has been here 3 times each. I mean, 4 times for most of them. I mean,
Мне лично тоже интересно увидеть его игру.
And you know, we saw in that video we just ran of the various players talking about what the major means to them, and it means being remembered in the game you've dedicated yourself to. Well, ASTRALIS, they don't have the burden of this is my chance to be remembered, to be done. Been ship sailed. Now looking for their 4th in the cabinet, 3rd in a row. It's a completely different. It's the juxtaposition, the contrast between the 2 teams standing, or rather sitting on that stage in their secret lab chairs, might I add. It is going to be an interesting one, just seeing this contrast play out in front of us. Inferno, the first map. What are your expectations?
Итак, видим решимость. Решимость в глазах Дюпри. Что он покажет на этот раз?
Okay, maybe if it goes badly, we'll swap positions later. Like they all know exactly where they're playing. It's perfect.
One of the good things with that is they don't really see the need to grab a double AWP on their CT side as well, because it just rotates the device around so efficiently. But you know, something that I just want to touch on here, if Jane wants to save the AWP, right? If they're getting in struggle situations, he wants to save the AWP. I think that ASTRALIS are not going to let him. They're going to be so thorough. They're going to chase him down. They're going to hunt him. They're going to make his life so difficult. That would be my goal. That would be my target. Make him squirm.
ASTRALIS is the type of team that would probably look at demos and figure where James likes saving and nade those spots.
I can believe it. I can believe it. That's the nerd level that they'll go to.
Yeah, and I did ever finish my story about the stats on Inferno. It was a whole tournament concluded with ASTRALIS finishing with average of 50 utility damage per round. A player limping at 50 HP at the end of a tournament on that map. That is just an absurd average, and something that AVANGAR are going to be playing up against. James going to try and keep hold of his AWP, and I'm going to try and keep hold of my excitement, because I've been told the game is on its way. Berlin, I love what you're doing. You look beautiful today, but I want to hear you scream. I want to hear you scream so loud. Put your hearts on your sleeves as you witness Counter-Strike history.
Итак, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. ASTRALIS versus AVANGAR. We're going to get this grand final underway. Inferno was the first map. ASTRALIS going to be starting on the T side and AVANGAR on the CT side. And best of 3 game coming up. Moses now. The game is live.
Итак.
ASTRALIS setting 3 players into Banana, and there's 3 defenders here as well. Buster far back in support in ASTRALIS. A typical boost to look for aggression, nothing coming quite yet. A stalemate early on. Neither of these teams want to make that first mistake in these grand finals. Just ready and waiting.
На банане сидит
Kickert and Adren
вблизи.
trying to find their timing. Pop flash over. Kickert's going to get the first action. The CZ, it's got nothing. AVANGAR has nothing, and ASTRALIS is trying to win towards this B-bomb site.
Talking a lot about that ASTRALIS utility use already on the desk being mentioned, and you know it's true with HEs and a bunch
Егор, ты комментируешь сейчас мою игру.
Absolutely cracking open top banana, and now
Саня выходит, пытается простреливать.
Pretty much an impossible retake here. I have no idea how you could even dream of doing this. Sanji rushing through with a flashbang. He's going to turn around, getting a headshot. He gets one more kill before he's finally down. A godlike play from Sanji. And now it's a 2-on-2. They line up the device, and he's not going to take anything coming from that side. A quick double, and ASTRALIS will win it, but for a second, it looked like they were about to do the impossible.
Right when Sanji pulls it back into it, Device is there to just shut it right back down. That double kill is heartbreaking because AVANGAR all of a sudden had to have felt like they had a real chance. This is so brilliant, especially for a young player on this kind of stage to get this level of a start. But if you're AVANGAR, that's what you don't want. You had the setup. You had 3 players at B. You wanted to fight for that control. That's the exact fight you were looking for, and you still can't win it. 1-0 for the Danes. And a full investment from defense. Upgraded pistols, 3 CZs, and there's that utility damage. Device down to 22. It is returned on the other side, though. Buster and Kicker are going to take some chip damage themselves.
Device is going to be giving up on that. Krieg at any point. Would give it to Glaive or any of the others. They all have head armor, of course. Kind of a must-buy thing now that you know that they could be picking up, you know, SMGs or anything like that.
And ASTRALIS is fine being patient right now. They want the utility to be used early on by the CT side. You can see 3 smokes remaining with just over a minute. And ASTRALIS can start applying a little bit of pressure to force 1 or 2 out earlier. There's the follow-up at the B-bomb site. No smokes left on this part of the map.
Бомба идет защищает Джейм, Адрен, Санджи.
Don't want to be going into a bomb site where there's 3 or 5 people waiting. Better to try and spend a bit of time and sort of feel it out. And I think that's what Megas is doing right now. Just getting a sense of, is anyone here? What's going on?
That, and you can see 1 flashbang used. That's information. That's something they don't have to worry about later on. So Megas just firing up, just making the footsteps, has forced 1 extra piece of defense out. There's the follow-up. And Kicker chooses the wrong time. It's just Buster. P250, but ASTRALIS still not committed. 18 seconds left, and with just the sole defender now gone, the rest of AVANGAR has to save.
Дюпри ставит бомбу.
When the first target you have to fight with a weapon like that is jumping, it's generally quite hard to do anything, because even if you were really quick and you manage to adjust and sort of get the headshot mid-air, it doesn't matter. He's already so far sort of out in that angle that there are just going to be more people coming in behind. So if you're the first guy into a bomb site like that, and you generally, if you can get that jump timing right, that can be Sanji, though, actually making a lot of money. Remember the kill reward for that SMG is $600, unlike the pistols, you're down to 300. So that's a huge difference. Him just picking up a lot of money in the bank, and everything matters, most especially when you're playing on the CT side of Inferno, where you need smokes, molotovs, all those expensive grenades to block off all the choke points. It's a huge part of the meta game right now.
And that's going to be such a big factor. AVANGAR is going to have to do a better job of holding their nerve once the guns come out, once the gun rounds get underway. You could see those pop flashes from the CT spawn choke point. Those are too early. It's just 1 player challenging and making noise. You need to hold them for a little bit longer. And obviously, that is a very tough thing to do against ASTRALIS.
Could even be that Sanji, with that kind of a bank, he could drop the ult for Jame earlier than maybe they would have normally been able to. So that's a choice that they have to make. Do they want the early sniper rifle, or do they want all the grenades, basically? I think that could be a choice that they'll have to make in a couple of rounds, or in the next round, really. They still have a lot to fight with here, so ASTRALIS have to be careful. 3 armors and Sanji, he's making money all the time.
Well, he's just playing like a god to start this out. 6 kills already and 1 death. What a performance and what a shutdown of Dupree. Glaive is going to swap out for the AK-47, and ASTRALIS might be forced to at least look towards Banana. Glaive and Device going to attend to that. You have to see if there's any kind of aggressive defense and force it back if it's there. But a 5-on-4 and a chance for AVANGAR in the 3rd round to win one that they probably didn't have a chance of, or probably shouldn't have won.
Buster very hard to do anything in this position again. The smoke, that's the thing that would sort of save him. But when it happens at a minute, that's going to be tricky. Kicker is coming in with the next smoke, so that's kind of good news. And if they can wait with that smoke until 30 seconds thereabout, that's going to be a big difference.
And towards mid, they're going to go for the information play. They want to start clearing out these halls. They want to know what kind of a hit it's going to be. And unfortunately, I think they've looked, and it was all clear when they peeked. James is rotating away, Adren is rotating away, but ASTRALIS is coming right back here, and this timing could not be worse for AVANGAR. This is an absolute disaster.
It is. This is one of those rounds, and it happened yesterday as well in the semi-final, where it looked like ASTRALIS were playing off the minimap. Again, any new viewers to the game, that minimap in the top left, only we can see that. Obviously, the players can't see where the other team is, but it feels like ASTRALIS sometimes just know. They make the perfect call at the perfect time. You're absolutely right. AVANGAR, they even did their due diligence. They went and saw, there's nobody here in second mid. We should be all right. Let's try and move for it. Kick picked off in library. That's a great call in the middle of the round.
I wouldn't even be upset if AVANGAR went for this, if for no other reason just to get 1 or 2 more kills.